Help is on the way to some of San Diego's smallest businesses thanks to a new grant program.
San Diego County Board of Supervisors Chairman Nathan Fletcher joins us live right here on the 4 to talk a little bit more about that and answer some of the other questions that a lot of you are asking today. First of all, Chair Supervisor, thank you for joining us right here on our show.
Hey, it's good to see you both. It's nice to join you. Thanks for having me.
All right, talk a little bit about this program. What's this all about?
Well, look, we know more than 8 months ago, all restrictions, COVID restrictions on businesses were lifted. But, I know that the impacts continue to remain. And so this is a really unique program. It's really targeted at our really small businesses. When we say small businesses, that encapsulates a really broad number. This is just 5 or fewer employees. It's $3.8 million, but it's folks that a small investment might really help them out as they adapt, as they change, as they work, as they come back. We've done a multitude of these programs to try and help people recover from what we all went through and knowing how hard it was for our small businesses. So I think it's a good program. I think it's another little thing we can do to restore a little sense of normalcy and get everyone moving forward.
A lot of people on the higher end did well during the pandemic. It didn't impact them. Why is it important to reach this group of people right now, helping the economy recover? And how do people get involved?
Carlo, this is a really key point, and that the recession associated with the pandemic is the most uneven in our history. Mm-hmm. We created more billionaires, the top folks continue to do well, and a lot of folks really suffered tremendously. And so a lot of our efforts around folks that were most impacted by it, particularly those small businesses, those really small ones, they don't have lobbyists. They don't know how to access these programs. And so if you just go to sandiegocounty.gov/microbusinessgrants, folks can apply. It's a really easy process. Again, this is for our smallest businesses, and we're looking for folks that were impacted by COVID. And we have folks that are on hand to help people apply and walk through the help they can get. But it's designed to help those folks most impacted, hardest hit, and those small businesses that don't have the resources to do PPE loans or federal compliance, right, or any of those types of efforts.
Chair Fletcher, you agreed to come on our show to talk about this particular program, but I do want to ask you about the statewide mask mandate that is set to expire at midnight tonight, the indoor mask mandate, except for schools. What are you hearing from your constituents, and what are you asking for on a statewide level as far as metrics go in order for children as young as 2 years old to finally be able to take the masks off?
Well, I think Heather, as it relates to the mask being lifted, thank goodness. I know we're all, it has been a long 2 years. And so much of what we did around COVID was because we didn't have a vaccine, we didn't have a medical treatment, and we had a very real risk of collapse of the healthcare system. But that's no longer the case. We now have a vaccine. And in San Diego County, some 92% of our folks have gotten a vaccine. We've done incredibly well. Our death rate is significantly lower than other places, but because we have a vaccine and because we have medical treatments, I think we've got to restore the sense of normalcy. And so I think coming out of the mask mandate is the appropriate thing to do. Omicron cases are coming down. And a week ago, I introduced a measure before my board to really encourage the state to safely and responsibly lift the mask mandate in schools. It made sense last year. Last fall, we had to get our kids back in school, and we know how important that was. And they also couldn't get the vaccine at that time. It wasn't approved for kids in K through 12 age schools, but now they can. And most of them have. And so I think we need to figure out how we safely and responsibly lift that mask mandate.
That there hasn't been a game plan put into place regarding that? Let's move on and think about this in more of an endemic standpoint, like other respiratory viruses. All right, I just wanted to follow up with you on that. The fact that the state, as of yesterday, has not released a plan to take the masks off the kids. They said if we have not met this particular number, for instance. Does that frustrate you as a parent, as the chairman of the County Board of Supervisors, that there wasn't a map laid out for here is the date, this is what we're looking for?
Well, I'm looking optimistically to that February 28th date where they said that they would share where it is there. And that's just a few weeks away. And I'm hopeful at that point, again, we have a concrete specific plan, and everything that was done during COVID, Heather, was designed to be temporary because of the situation we faced. And I think we need to fulfill that into the commitment. And I think because of the vaccine, the widespread adoption, the therapeutic treatment, the reasonably low risk at this point, it's time to resume our normal lives and treat this like other respiratory viruses.
All right, Supervisor Board Chair Nathan Fletcher talking about a business loan program, some micro grants, as well as the mask situation we all want to see come to an end. I want to thank you for joining us today. Thank you for your time.
Hey, thank you both. Thank you, Carlo. Thank you, Heather. Good to see you both.